Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Well, it's Saturday morning, May the 11th. Look what we got in the mail yesterday. We got a big box and a little box. Let's do some unboxing and kind of see what we got here. I know what's in it. If y'all watched the previous one, you know what's in it too. So I'm kind of excited. Although it's not really a big deal. I'm just wanting to get a job done. We had an interesting last couple days. We had a really strong little hailstorm come through here. Don't look like it hurt the garden none, no. I imagine this is the chain and maybe the tube. Yeah, there you go. Oh yeah, and I got a couple of these little less expensive wedge bolts. Just gonna kind of see how they hold up. China. Boy, they put that in bold print, didn't they? Got me a wire. 10-foot of chain. All right, my little clip. There we go. We're gonna have to do something a little different here. I'm gonna see if I can't kick the legs out on this little thing and roll it down and set it right under. I'm guessing this made in China too. There it is. Alright, let's set it on top of here and see. Yeah, looks like they use plenty of grease. Didn't go to the trouble of getting me a wing nut though, did they? Pre-greased, that's a good thing. Well, I wouldn't say that little old bent bolt is made exactly like I would like it to be made, but it does look like, well, maybe it'll hold. Don't over tighten it. Does go around and around. There you go, and closes. I do see one problem. I don't know if it's a big problem, but it's definitely a problem. Move this in, I can just run one chain from here to here and bypass all of that. And because it moved in, this bolt is rubbing the inside of this gear. Now I can pull it this way, and that actually does help a lot. So that means what I need to do is maybe put a shim somewhere. Maybe over here, behind that one. Or maybe just right in here and be fine to get it out there a little bit. Yeah, that's what I need to do. Alright, that'll work. I'm gonna pull this out. The easiest thing would be take the gear off and shim it right there. I think ideally the shims are behind the little harder key right there. But I think for what I'm doing, I'll be just fine up here. Alright. Well, there you go. That's the unboxing. It's too wet to do anything right now. Garden is saturated from the rain we had. I plan on getting down there and doing a little bit of hoeing, and I'm gonna move some plants. I'm gonna take my shovel. I'm gonna take some of the corn that's too close together. I'm gonna take a big scoop of it out and move it to another hole and see if I can't fill my garden in on that lower side there and make it look a little fuller. I hoed it out, and anything that was growing right next to the other one, I got rid of it, because you're not going to be able to transplant something that's right next to it. Yeah, it may or may not live. But the one that's 10 inches from it, I'm going to take that shovel down there and I'm going to take a scoop of it out. I'm going to move it over and fill in some gaps and try to make the garden look a little bit better. We'll come back to this later. It's not a pressing issue. I don't need it right now. I'll put some shims in that and get that gear over a little bit. Get the new chain on. Run my tube down. Get ready to do some lacing fertilizer before the next rain comes in here next week. And boy, after that, I'm gonna sit back and grin, because you're gonna watch that old corn and stuff just pop. I mean, it'll go from you know, a good healthy plant, and you'll come out there 2 days later and it'll be twice as tall. It's amazing to watch it grow after a little fertilization. All right, let me get busy. I'm gonna round up some tools and get in the garden. Well, okay now. What I did and what I said I was gonna do is two different things. I actually never made it back to the garden. Got to fooling with this hopper and the chain and everything and got it set up. Well, here's the good and the bad of it. This hopper does work. I did take my little J hook off the other one and put on there. I liked it a lot better than the bent up bolt they had in there. Put me a couple of shims in here to pull this out, which it's still got plenty of clearance in there. In fact, I wouldn't hurt probably if I shimmed it just a fuzz more. I ended up cutting this bolt off just a little bit to keep from rubbing that sprocket, and I still got, you know, adjustments where I can cut it almost completely off or open it wide up. Chain, 10 foot's not enough chain, but it worked out good for me because I had a section of chain in that chain of mine that was just like brand new. In fact, that's the reason I realized I needed a new chain, because part of it was in great shape and part of it was wore completely out. So I think that's the new, and then it goes into the old. Now, for a little while, I wrestled with which way this chain should go on. I mean, I know this part needs to be against the sprocket, but does this need to be the front or does that need to be to the back? Same thing on the back chain. My thoughts were, well, this sprocket's pulling, so it's pulling on the full circle right there, all the way around. But if I turn that around, well, this side's what's doing the pulling over here. And, you know, the slot part right there is in front over here, so it's just the opposite. I don't know. I can honestly say I've seen people put them on there every which way you could imagine, but to me, this is what makes sense. And this is the way I done it. If anybody's got any different ideas, I want to explain it to me. And I read several posts about it, but anyways, that's what I ended up coming up with. Same thing applies to the back one. I mean, it's pulling the bottom, and, you know, up here it's just the opposite up here. But anyways, there we go. Got that on there. Do not like this. I mean, it just needs to be, to me, it just needs to be longer. I mean, you got it stretched tight as a bungee cord. And speaking of bungee cords, I don't have a spring to go back here, so I got a bungee cord on it, keeping the tension on it. This thing is nowhere near the quality that the original one was back in the day, but it'll get the job done. Just every time I take it off, the little gear falls out the bottom and I got to reposition it. If it doesn't cause me any problems in the field, I'll be in good shape. But all in all, I'm pretty happy. I need to get my spring to go in the back when it's tight enough to put tension in. I did find a little spring, a little throttle spring off of something around here, and it just didn't have enough tension to do no good, and barely had enough tension to hold the bracket up, much less put tension on the chain. I may use this little old tooth. This little thing right here is you know, straighten it out. I got it folded forward where it won't be close to the ground, but I may use that as my injection knife for the fertilizer. Just run the tube down behind it and let it go with that. I don't know. We'll find out next week. But that's how it turned out. I'm happy with it. Started out cool this morning. We got down in the 60s, and it was real nice when I first woke up. I should have got in the garden then, But hey, I had new toys here to play with, so come here and fool with this. And I grabbed up my hoe and some other tools. I'm gonna go to the garden, and I thought it's just too hot to be out here in the middle of the sun right now. And it's 12:30, so it's lunchtime. I'm gonna go up the house, see if I can't muster me up a sandwich, get a little bite to eat, and who knows, might take a nap. My grandbaby, my oldest grandbaby, graduated high school last night. And so that was kind of a milestone. But she's gonna head off to South Alabama to college. She was what they call a salutatorian or something like that. Anyway, she had lots of honors going for her. She's very smart. And it's good to see your kids grow up and do so well. But anyways, hey, I'm just enjoying my retirement years right now, making the best of every day. And so I ain't complaining about a thing. Well, all right, let me go find a sandwich. We'll get back with you later. And this will be a good place to kind of wind up this video. Kind of showing you the new little toy I got from a tractor. And so we'll catch you on the next one. Y'all enjoy your weekend, and hey, we'll start over next Monday.